Kanwaldeep Singh Chadha, CEO and founder of the company NextGen Pharma India Private Limited. So the Indian market, much like the global, again has two broad segments: the consumer format or the wellness space, and the other one is the supplements or the drugs, which have been indicated or targeted towards disease conditions. I think what we are participating is the latter one, the one which is in the supplement or the drugs category, which I think is in the region of 300 crores plus and has been growing quite rapidly in the past 5 or 10 years. One, because of the acceptance of probiotics across wide therapy areas, unlike in the past where it was only probably a gastroenterologist or a general practitioner using it. Now, a number of other fraternities have started subscribing to the science of probiotics. And second, by the fact that number of players have gone up and they are launching new and new variants of the probiotics. So the COVID-19, unfortunately, globally, or rather I would say COVID-19 has definitely had a positive impact on the sales of probiotic globally, because there are a large number of players offering products for immune modulation or immune enhancement. Unlike in India, where we didn't see a major upswing in the market, at least for probiotics in COVID, because there were other, variants like vitamin C or zinc or vitamin D. They were hugely in demand because of people's belief in these products helping you to build immunity. Unfortunately, the probiotics were left out in the Indian scenario. So the probiotic challenges are multifold. One is a regulatory challenge that so some products are registered as drugs, some products are registered as medical food, and there are some which are food supplements. And the other challenge that I see is the lack of evidence on the specific strains which have been studied in certain conditions. So the tendency is generally that people who do studies invest in research and development. The others make use of the studies considering probiotic as an umbrella science and not going down to the specific strain. The third is the storage and handling conditions which are prevailing particularly in India, because probiotics need cold storage and conditions which are a little more let's say restrictive, and we don't have such infrastructures in place in this country as it is in the Western world. So when we started out almost a decade back, the acceptance of probiotics was very at the minimal level, and the doctors used to think that it's only an agent which helps in treating diarrhea after the antibiotic course. So we had to really work towards doing more studies in certain disease, specifically for using probiotics as an individual therapy, and we started doing studies in gastroenterology with difficult conditions like ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, and liver disease. And we've been fairly, I think, successful in conducting the studies in India and showing the efficacies. Then we also did studies in some of the areas which today or even back then were unmet needs. And one of the areas we chose was cancer palliative care, where we've done studies in conditions like oral mucositis, which are a condition which is a side effect of chemoradiotherapy. And then we also did studies in chemoradiotherapy-induced diarrhea and some of those conditions. Another area that we very focused was women's and child health. So one of our product has been tried with ICMR in its role to prevent neonatal sepsis. And we did a study already published in British Medical Journal in 1,340 newborn babies, showing that it's able to control that. And a second phase of that study is now ongoing with 6,000 newborn babies. And in women's health, we have a product which is delivered intravaginally, and that product has been shown to improve the fertility in what is called as idiopathic infertility or infertility due to causes not known. And that is becoming a very exciting area for us to invest further. People usually would know probiotics being given orally, but we have developed a product for dermatology in skin conditions, which is derived from an enzyme contained in a bacteria, and another bioactive which is proven to treat very difficult skin inflammatory conditions. And we would be soon, getting into an agreement with the company to launch our product in India. And other than this, we've also, other than probiotics, we also have a very interesting product on with botanicals. Because being a company, we believe in natural product therapies, and all our product portfolios will be built around that. So, talking about clinical trials, apart from the ones that I mentioned earlier, we've been very fortunate to collaborate with ICMR, and we're doing studies in some are very difficult and life-threatening conditions also. We've just concluded a study in evaluating the role of our products in recurrent UTI or urinary tract infection, which is really a life-threatening conditions, because these women are having basically who are included in the trial who have at least 3 or more episodes of UTI in a year, and given the current resistance on antibiotics, they are really having a very limited choice of treatment. So we found that one of our products has been fairly successful in showing the efficacies. That study is under now publication. Another area that we are very focused now is COVID, and particularly long COVID. Having proven one of our products in COVID treatment, we are now focused to do work in long COVID, particularly chronic fatigue, where we've seen some evidence with one of our combination of strains, which we followed up the patients for 6 months after treatment, and they seem to have a very negligible symptoms of chronic fatigue. And that in the current scenario, I think, is an important area to invest. So we've recently concluded a trial at PGI on type 1 diabetes, and we've got some very exciting results showing that one of our combination of strains, a probiotic product or a bacteriotherapy, has been able to keep the patients in euglycemia, which is a desired parameter, one of the most desired parameter in type 1 diabetes. So we want to invest more in this area with type 1, and more studies already planned in type 1, and possibly also we look at type 2 as well, where we already have some evidence in the past done from other studies. So I think NextGen has been a B2B company where we develop products and out-license to companies for sales and marketing in India and other parts of the world. We are now in the process of evaluating certain niche areas where we'd like to go to the consumers or the doctors directly, like a B2C, because we think there are certain niches that we would like to explore within our own team and see how we can deliver the products and address certain conditions which are today having limited choice of therapies. And apart from the human health, we are also entering into the animal health business, where we have already studies done with a couple of our products, again in both companion animals or large animals, and even poultry and aqua.